United Kingdom officials have started to roll out a new emergency alert system, which they've said is now operational and has recently been tested. Millions received an emergency message and alarm, stating that it was part of a new system that has been implemented. The platform is designed to ensure individuals can be reached on their phones during perilous situations, particularly during extreme flooding. Emergency alerts are transmitted to all mobile phones capable of receiving them within a specified area of potential danger. These messages are not designed to track your location, request your phone number, or gather any personal information. Only the government and emergency services are authorized to send them. If an emergency alert comes in on your phone, a loud and distinct siren-like tone will play. A message will appear on your phone screen, providing details about the emergency and the best actions to take to deal with the situation. However, a hacker on social media has come forward and said that they have the ability to hack the emergency alert system, and they estimated that within 12 months, fake emergency alerts will be sent out by hackers. They detailed that they now work for a government agency and said it's their job to identify software that can be hacked, further saying that it's now another piece of software that the United Kingdom government has to protect. The hacker said that it's only a matter of time before this happens, and that online hackers could crack the system within the next few weeks, which would enable them to generate false alarms using basic technology, which could potentially incite panic in busy areas such as stadiums, city centres, or crowded trains. It was suggested by various news sites that individuals with malicious intentions could use a YouTube tutorial to gain the knowledge needed to send fake alerts to a large number of people. According to reports, hackers can exploit a perceived security flaw in the system, already operational in America and Canada, to send fraudulent alerts to smartphones in close proximity. According to a study conducted by the University of Colorado Boulder in the United States, a 50,000-seat arena has been identified as being vulnerable to an attack. According to a research paper, experts from the University of Colorado Boulder cautions that counterfeit notifications in bustling metropolitan areas or sports arenas have the potential to lead to a series of uncontrolled emotional reactions. According to the experts, it has been discovered that using just 4 harmful portable base stations with a single watt of transmit power each can lead to an attack on almost the entire stadium, accommodating 50,000 seats, with a 90% success rate. This type of attack can be performed using software-defined radios that are readily available and cost under $1,000. By making a few changes to open-source software, it can be carried out with ease. According to a representative of the government, the emergency notification system has been designed in collaboration with cybersecurity specialists, and as a result, it is highly secure. But that hasn't stopped hackers from saying that they could easily crack the software, and now researchers are worried that fake alerts are going to be sent out within the next few months. The issue of cybercrime has become a major concern for governments around the world. With the increasing use of technology and the internet in all aspects of modern life, the risk of cyber attacks and data breaches has grown significantly. As a result, governments have been forced to invest significant resources in addressing this problem, both in terms of prevention and response. The exact amount that governments spend on cybercrime varies widely depending on the country and the specific programs and initiatives in place. However, it is clear that the cost of cybercrime is significant, both in terms of financial losses and the potential damage to national security and personal privacy. In the United States, for example, the federal government spends billions of dollars each year on cybersecurity programs and initiatives. In fiscal year 2022, the Department of Defense alone requested a budget of over $10 billion for cybersecurity-related programs and initiatives. This funding is used to support a wide range of activities, including the development of new technologies and tools to detect and prevent cyber attacks, the training of cybersecurity professionals, and the establishment of partnerships with other government agencies and private sector organizations. In addition to federal funding, state and local governments in the United States also spend significant amounts of money on cybersecurity programs and initiatives. For example, the state of California recently allocated $50 million to establish a new cybersecurity office, which will be responsible for coordinating and overseeing cybersecurity efforts across state agencies and departments. Other countries around the world also invest significant resources in addressing the problem of cybercrime. In the United Kingdom, for example, the government recently announced a $1.9 billion investment in cybersecurity over the next 5 years. This funding will be used to support a range of initiatives, including the development of new cybersecurity technologies, the training of cybersecurity professionals, and the establishment of partnerships with other countries and private sector organisations. Similarly, the Australian government has announced a significant investment in cybersecurity, including the establishment of a new cybersecurity strategy and the creation of a new cyber defence force. These initiatives are designed to help protect Australia from cyber attacks and to ensure that the country is prepared to respond to cyber threats as they emerge. While the cost of cybercrime is significant, it is important to note that the cost of not investing in cybersecurity can be even greater. A single cyber attack can result in millions of dollars in financial losses and can compromise the personal data and privacy of millions of people. Moreover, cyber attacks can pose a significant threat to national security, particularly if they target critical infrastructure or government agencies. In some cases, cyber attacks can even lead to the loss of human life, as was seen in the recent ransomware attack on a major United States pipeline that disrupted fuel supplies and led to panic buying in some parts of the country. As of right now, the issue of cybercrime is a major concern for governments around the world, and the cost of addressing this problem is significant. While the exact amount that governments spend on cybersecurity varies widely, it is clear that significant resources are being allocated to this issue. These investments are critical to protecting national security, safeguarding personal privacy, and ensuring that individuals and organizations can safely use technology and the internet in their daily lives. As cyber threats continue to evolve and become more sophisticated, it is likely that governments will need to continue investing significant resources in cybersecurity programs and initiatives in order to stay ahead of the curve. The increasing use of technology and the internet has created new opportunities for criminals to exploit weaknesses in government systems and infrastructure. These attacks can have a range of negative effects on governments, including financial losses, damage to reputation, and threats to national security. One of the most significant effects of cybercrime on governments is the financial cost. Cyber attacks can result in significant financial losses for governments, particularly if they target critical infrastructure or result in the loss of sensitive data. For example, in 2017, the WannaCry ransomware attack caused an estimated $4 billion in losses worldwide, with many governments and organizations affected. In addition to financial losses, cybercrime can also damage the reputation of governments. A successful cyber attack can erode public trust and confidence in government institutions, particularly if the attack results in the loss of personal data or sensitive information. This can have long-lasting effects, as it can take years for governments to regain the trust of their citizens. Cybercrime can also pose a significant threat to national security. Governments are responsible for protecting their citizens from a range of threats, including those posed by cybercriminals. Attacks on government infrastructure or critical systems can compromise national security and leave citizens vulnerable to further attacks. For example, a successful cyber attack on a government agency responsible for maintaining critical infrastructure, such as the power grid or water supply, could have devastating consequences for public safety and security. Another effect of cybercrime on governments is the need for increased spending on cybersecurity. As the threat of cyber attacks continues to grow, governments are investing significant resources in developing new technologies and tools to prevent and respond to these attacks. This includes the hiring of cybersecurity professionals, the development of new technologies, and the establishment of partnerships with other governments and private sector organizations. This increased spending can put a strain on government budgets and resources, as cybersecurity programs and initiatives can be expensive to implement and maintain. Finally, cybercrime can also have political consequences for governments. Successful cyber attacks can be used by political opponents or foreign governments to discredit or destabilize a government. As of right now, cybercrime has a range of negative effects on governments around the world. These effects include financial losses, damage to reputation, threats to national security, increased spending on cybersecurity, and political consequences. As the threat of cybercrime continues to grow, it is essential that governments take steps to protect themselves and their citizens from these attacks. This includes investing in cybersecurity programs and initiatives, developing new technologies and tools to prevent and respond to attacks, and working with other governments and private sector organizations to share information and resources. By taking these steps, governments can help mitigate the effects of cybercrime and ensure the safety and security of their citizens. So, what do you make of this hacking news? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.